Dr. Z show. This show is about spirituality and film. And today, when you drive and you see these numbers, 333, 444, 666, those numbers have significance. And today we have a numerologist, Sally Faubion, in our show, who's going to talk about numbers. So very exciting. Sally, how are you today?
Good.
So tell us a little bit about numbers. What are their significance and how you got involved into this?
Okay, well, as Einstein said, everything in the universe has is just energy. Okay, everything can be boiled down, including humans, to just simply energy. And so all of the letters of our alphabet were chosen by sounds and symbols of the earth, by the ancient Hebrews actually, and then it went through processes to get to the Roman alphabet. But anyway, the Romans adopted that. And also numbers have vibrations. So, because they're energy, okay? And when you repeat something long enough, it's just like I've been doing a book on sports jersey numbers, because people are so nuts about their jersey numbers, And when you wear them long enough, that jersey number has a real meaning for you. And I could go into certain things. I mean, I've got some really good stories that I tell in my book about how the jersey numbers show up in the athletes' lives that make that jersey number kind of very attached to them. And people do have a number that follows them around. Like I found when I was younger, I moved a great deal. I moved to San Francisco when I was 20, and I moved all the time because I owned like a red glass and a comforter or something, so I could move a lot. And I found that the addresses that I went to were almost always if you reduce them down, they reduce to a 6. And that is one of my primary numbers from my chart. So it's like when you add all the numbers together in your social security number and reduce it down to a single digit, all the single digit numbers are the numbers that really vibrate to you. Like the full edition of your birth date, you add all the numbers together, and that number is the most powerful number in numerology. So it tells me more about you than most of the other numbers. But all of them have a certain significance. And I can tell you a little bit about you, but I would like to mention something about the 333 and the 444 and those numbers.
666, the building we are in.
That's right. This building 666, and I lived here for 19 years. And the thing is that I had a few people that would not come to the building because of the address, but it was very few. But anyway, Joseph Campbell, in one of his lectures, which I think many people who are in the spiritual world have heard of Joseph Campbell. He's no longer living, but he was a master of and also a professor of mythology, and traveled all over the world studying things like numbers. And he said in one of his lectures, he talked about the 666, and he said that it was actually the number of the goddess, and is the number of the goddess actually in India, one of the goddesses in India. But he said, and so wouldn't you, he did say this, so wouldn't you know what the patriarchs would do with it in the Bible? Make it the beast, because it's a representative of the goddess, because the goddess was basically shunted down back in the day.
So you are writing a book. What is the name of the book?
It's called You Are Your Only True Soulmate. Learn to love yourself by the numbers in your life. We all come in with a set of numbers that vibrate to us, and a lot of people take like the path of least resistance, which is kind of the in-between. Some people go to the lower, but most people go in between because it's kind of just easy. You can just be that much, and it's okay with you, and you know that that's your personality. But the higher side, which takes a little bit more effort, and sometimes a lot more effort, is the one that I'm going to present to them and say, look, this is what you came to do in this life, the path you came to follow, and what you came to deliver, and so on.
So you have a book out, Motivational Numerology, very, very interesting, and how numbers affect your life. So Sally, you should do my numbers.
Well, we will. Actually, I did ask you for them, but you didn't give me your full name, so you have to give me your middle name. Can you do that on camera here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's UL.
UL is all?
That's it. That's the middle name.
Okay, 3. So I'm just going to talk about your personality, the personality concept. So you have the 3-3 and the 11, but that's a 47-11. So let's see what that is. That makes an 80. That's right. Okay, so full addition of your name from birth, which tells me how you present yourself in the outside world, is the number 80. And the 8 is known as the number of the exemplar, the producer-director, the orchestrational, organizational individual, also the class act, dresses very well, has wonderful taste. It's also the control freak in some cases. but it's a nurturing controlling. It's the most nurturing, it's the highest nurturing number, which means that you really did come to do something like being a producer, director, or the chairman of the board. It's also called the chairman of the board or the general, or the good soldier. Many people who don't rise up to the general level, which, as I told you before, many people take kind of the middle road, then they're the good soldier. And when they sign on the line to go in with something that they appreciate, they just absolutely will stay and do, even if everybody else is leaving the ships, let's say, because they're that kind of dedicated people, very, very dedicated. And the 8 makes you really stand out in a crowd. I mean, it is a very people-oriented number. So unlike the renegades that we were talking about before, the 8 knows how to work with people and enjoy that kind of communion very much, because you are a leader of groups of people, not just a solo operator.
So Sally, you have talked a lot about numbers, and we are really appreciative of you coming to our show. And in every show, we tell our audience one spiritual affirmation which they can meditate on for the whole week. So today's affirmation is, if you would like to get a spirit reading, you can contact me at drzshow@gmail.com. Sally, thank you so much for coming into our show, and hopefully we can bring you back. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.